7.2, the change orders were at $7,659,000. That's the total price was $7,659,000. We are standing back at 5.4 right now. So we're still substantially under what was originally proposed.
Thank you. Question for Carol for Ragusa, Bob Burns, Zieglerville Road. Carol, that was in the Mercury, I believe, this morning.
Right.
And it did state that all 41 homes will be connected.
Correct.
I know we had had conversation about that before, and there was something up in the air as far as whether or not the other 2 homes were going to be done at the discretion of the DEP or the health department or whatever. So is that posting in today's paper saying that all 41 homes will absolutely be connected?
Actually, the planning module that was presented to this board said that all 41 would be connected. That's how they decided to proceed to get their project moving forward. So at this time, the plan says all 41 homes will be connected. That's correct.
Okay, so it had to be a little bit of modification or something showing an easement or something getting up to Janet Ragusa's property then?
Yes, they actually created that plan for submission with the planning module. So there's an easement across one of the estate lots to serve the other estate lot. That's exactly correct.
Going through the open space area, correct?
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
Anything else for the engineer? You're up.
So the speaker making noise?
Yes.
Yeah. We're missing a pair of glasses, if anybody's found any. They're circular and black. Is anybody got glasses here? Kind of need to find those. Everybody's found any glasses?
I think when you were right here, you took them off, and you were having a picture taken. Yeah, I think that's, I'm not sure.
Hopefully nobody's sitting.
I didn't even see them.
Put it in the chair. Sorry. Never mind.
Ready for me?
Yeah, I think we are.
My December report, during the month of December, we had 160 police-related calls for service. 113 of said services were provided by the Frederick Township Police. 47 were covered by the state police in our absence. We received checks in the amount of $97.38, and these represent payments for fines and restitution paid by criminal defendants on traffic and criminal matters. We also received a check for $50 from the Perkins Valley Middle School West Home and School Association. On December the 11th, Officer Rinker from our police department, in coordination with the Montgomery County District Attorney's Office, put on a presentation during the day at the middle school, and it was for grades 6, 7, and 8, I believe. And it basically was centered on bullying, cyberbullying, things that are of concern to the school district. They had approached us several months ago and asked us to put a program together, and we worked in conjunction with the district attorney's office to accommodate that. And as a result of it, the association wanted to make a donation to the police department. So I just wanted to mention that. We appreciate that very much. Nice support. That's my report for this evening.
Thank you.
We did speak also towards the end of last year about possibly the formation of a traffic calming committee. I did receive a letter of interest from Mr. Burns that he would be interested in serving on that committee. I don't know if the board will move forward at this point or table that.
I think we should. I think we should.
Okay.
I think we should.
We did speak also towards the end of last year about possibly the formation of a traffic calming committee. I did receive a letter of interest from Mr. Burns that he would be interested in serving on that committee. I don't know if the board will move forward at this point or table that.
Well, I guess the first I heard of it was, thanks to Carol, I brought it up at the last meeting. So I'm not exactly sure, I saw the paperwork that you gave us, I'm not sure where we're at, where your opinions are. Whether
No, I mean, you're asking for my opinion as to the formation of this? or-
I guess whether or not you think it's worthy of putting, or moving it forward,
I
and
do.
looking to put a committee together.
I do think it is, sir. I mean, I think that at this point, probably working in connection with the community to identify some of these issues, and I think also getting some community involvement would be important, because these are some complex issues that we are dealing with. I mean, we talk about things, we talk about enforcement. Enforcement will continue into the new year. We've had a little bit of respite because of the bad weather, and we ordered, and I just want to update the board, I actually should have done this under my report, but we did order the NRAD device. It is being built for us. We're hoping to see it in the next few weeks for delivery. But I think that that's just a small portion of the issues, at least from what I've heard from my communication with people such as Mr. Burns and other people in the community. So I am for it, and I think certainly we would have membership, myself, a member of my staff, but I think that this would be an important dialogue start between us and the community.
Well, with that said, Carol's information,
The chairman would like, I'll assist the manager in looking to get some information from the website so that we can track volunteers.
sounds good to me, so I would like to direct our township manager to move forward with our traffic calming committee.
The chair?
That's fine.
Chair.
Do we need to have a resolution for
Not until we have something in front of us to vote on. A theme will be established.
So I'll leave that in our staff's hands.
You done, Chief? Are you done?
I'm done.
Okay.
Thanks, Paul.
Mr. Manning, our roadmaster, is not in attendance this evening, but we have a report from him. During the month of December, the Public Works Department performed the following work in addition to routine operations. Finished getting trucks ready for the plowing season. They did have 3 salting events, 2 sump pump inspections, repair and maintenance of those sump pumps. Hauled in and mixed up cinders, heating tape on the sludge holding tank, and emptied and washed trucks after salt. And I know they're busy times coming up with those guys, and we appreciate the hard work and making the streets safe and getting them salted for everybody so they have safe travel.
They do a great job.
And that's always under Public Works. Do have, under manager's report, I just have some payment requests. Can we do this individually or together?
I hope we can do them all together.
Okay,
Are there only related to the sewage plant?
they are.
So without objection, we'll read that and listen. Do the
Okay.
one vote.
Millware Incorporated, payment request number 11 in the amount of $232,437.79. Garden Spot Mechanical, payment request number 3 in the amount of $22,005. Garden Spot Electrical, payment request number 5 in the amount of $201,358.79. Low water request number 12 in the amount of $269,307.33. Upper Pipe and Services Incorporated number 1, request $54,459.72. Low water change order number 7 in the amount of $7,957.71. If I could have a motion. Any discussion or questions?
Do you know what the change order is for?
Change order for low water?
The change order, little more change order number 7.
Undercutting and replacement of unsuitable soils for the filter building.
I see it now, thank you.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Next item, order of business, is registration for the PSATS conference have till January 16th if any supervisor interested in attending that. We do have time to appoint a delegate as a go-between if we wanted to waive or if we wanted to do that this evening.
I'd like to attend.
Okay.
Do you want to be our voting delegate as well?
If I know the person attending, I think I would like to be.
I don't think we've ever had a voting delegate. I don't know. Unless somebody else does something I have to do.
It's standard that one person needs to be designated as a voting delegate because they can vote on items, and every township has the opportunity to.
I would like to also attend, but I'm not going to stay over. I'll just go on a daily basis.
Yeah, I'm not, we went last year, I'm not sure if we'll go for the day. So I'll keep you posted.
Okay.
Terry, I know we went out one, drove out one day. So
So then we can have a motion to appoint Supervisor Hexter as the
I
voting
would
delegate.
move to appoint Supervisor Hexter as a PSATS voting delegate. Congratulations.
Second. Any discussion or questions? All those in favor say aye. Aye. And last order of business, I received this from PSATS. It's a resolution which they actually prepared opposing House Bill 1620, which would take away the municipality's right to regulate the rights of way for utilities.
Whose suggestion is this?
That's PSATS. There's a copy or a
Yeah, what this is it's going through the State House, and the bill as written would allow cell phone companies to put their towers where they want, basically ignoring local zoning. They want to put it up front of this building and do it. So the resolution opposing it is saying we want to make control of where things go.
Will you guys read this?
I think it's terrible bill and what they opposed.
That's all I
Is that
No, right here.
It's just a comment real quick, that I know that I read the bill. It is terrible. It limits what you can charge these companies to actually put their equipment on your right of way. I know that there's a bunch of townships in the area that have already passed a resolution against it, wholeheartedly.
Thank you. All right, so that would be Resolution 1819. If the board is in so favor, if we could have a motion.
I'll move.
Solicitor and I will prepare that.
I'll second.
Any questions or comments?
Is this what Upper Safford was putting? No cell tower?
I'm not sure,
Okay.
but I have read a couple of the township. I know Bridgeport's got one. There's a bunch of them around that have already passed a resolution to keep it from coming out.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Those opposed? And that's all I have on my report. Is there any old business? You want to wait for the public comment, or is this?
It's fine, whichever you want to do.
Okay, all right. Under new business, Supervisor Hexter and I myself have discussed putting together a quarterly township newsletter, which we will be working on. Because of the high cost of mailing, would not be available in mailing, but however, it will be available on the website. And I'm sure it will get posted up on Facebook at some point during the process. So we will continue to work on that. Code of ordinances revision, that has to deal with our township code in regards to sewer tapping fees. That I'll work with Solicitor Keenan on making sure that is in regulation. That tapping fee is out of date and needs to be brought into compliance with what we recently passed. I guess we'll forward to number 8 under public comment.
The question, I guess, is for Mr. Keenan. The second-class township code, 3202D, talks about our budget since our budget was passed and we have a newly elected official, that the budget could possibly be reopened. When we had our budget meeting, we were all crammed in the front room. There were people standing out in the hallway. Some of them at that point felt that they didn't get a chance to make their questions. So I guess one of the things we're asking is, since the state gives us the opportunity, and the Board of Supervisors may amend the budget, would that be something that we can look at? There's apparently a 10-day inspection time, and I believe it has to be done by February 15th.
It's up to the supervisors.
I'm opposed.
Does that carry for all three of you, or do you want to hear some of the budget questions? I mean, I don't know that I can give them all to you, but I know some of them.
That would be fine. I mean,
You have a list in front of you.
I'm just opposed to reopening the budget at this point.
Okay.
Personally, that's my opinion.
Right, well, I'm just bringing it up because apparently the state says that we have the opportunity to do that after the newly elected supervisors put in.
Well, that's fine.
Okay.
I think, we met in that room, but if I recall, I believe we were all in there, and I thought there was ample time for questions. So, I'm good for where we're at this point in time. But you're welcome to, public comment. If anyone else has a comment.
Well, one of the issues that I did bring up at that meeting was about the auditor. Apparently, as Lorraine just said earlier, that she believes they've been our auditor for 5 years. From what I heard, they started somewhere in the neighborhood of $6,500. They're now up to $8,700. And again, with the second-class township code, under section 917, they're only allowed to be paid $3,000, which I brought up at that meeting, but I told you I didn't have the corresponding reference number, which is, again, section 917 in the second-class code. And basically what that says is that in order for them to be paid more than $3,000, it has to have a petition signed by 25 people, and it must go to the court of common pleas to be authorized for anything over and above that $3,000. So how did we get to the point where we're paying them $8,700?
What chapter was that in again?
917. Bob, while he's reading that, you obviously have the list that I have in front of me that was compiled from various residents throughout the township. I don't think it's necessary to go through all those, but that gives you the bullet points to the point where you might want to consider taking a look at those items.
I do know, I've been here since 2010. I know we have some supervisors that have been in the room that have been here prior to that. And if I do recall, it's always been at least $5,000, and our treasurer is here. So I don't know the law, and
I am not a lawyer. I always thought it was for elected auditors and not companies, wherein before we did have elected auditors who actually took my books and worked on them. We had 3 auditors. And it got to the point where it's a little bit more involved for independent auditors, and we needed a company. And I believe that was the reason for the difference in cost. And I'm not a lawyer.
What Lorraine's referring to is section 902.
Yeah.
We have 3 auditors. Each auditor can be paid $10 an hour, not to exceed $1,000 during the year.
That's the part.
Since we don't have, any of the 3 auditors aren't a CPA, then it has to go out to a certified public accountant firm to handle the township's business. And as I stated, under 917, it states that we had to follow that law to go through common pleas court I mean, honestly, I agree with you, $3,000, we're not getting the best guy in the world to do the job. So how we're up from 3,000 to 8,700, and what the court would appoint them to do, I don't know.
I don't see any $3,000 in my 917, but I'll
Look at 902, it'll give you the,
I'll look at it.
thank
For
you.
the board. Thank you.
I have a question, since this is my first time going through the budget process. My understanding is if you want to add money to the budget, then you must reopen it. But if we end up spending less, then that is not required, not spend as much.
That's very true.
So are some of these items things that we can discuss without reopening the budget?
You can always discuss spending less.
Sure, some of the items can be done that way. The other way is also request for proposals, whether or not we put RFPs out for not only the solicitor, but the engineer, the auditor's firm, the township inspector, building inspector, plus all of our insurance companies. You know, whether we have the same insurance company for, you know, workers' comp or health insurance or whoever. If all those carriers are putting in proposals each year, it kind of keeps the people that we have, instead of raising their rates when they know they see, you know, competition out there, they're going to sharpen their pencil a little bit. It also gives us the opportunity to look at other firms that we might like to go to versus the ones that we have.
Right, but my comment was related to, as I understand it, if you want to add up to 10% of the budget to the budget, it requires reopening and revisiting it. But if you're talking about things that might actually lower our expenditure, I don't think it's required to reopen the budget for that, but we can discuss it.
I don't know anything about that.
Is that
Yeah,
correct?
that's correct.
So I would propose we could consider discussing these items, but I don't know that we need to reopen the budget.
That's fine.
Yeah, makes sense to me. I agree with you, I agree with the comments, and I am certainly in favor of lowering our costs wherever possible.
Sounds good. One other thing, I understand that Carol Schuler is now representing herself with Value Engineering and is no longer with Cedarville, is that correct?
That's correct.
There was no public discussion about when this happened or any contracts that were put forward, if we're paying the same that we paid before, if there's anything difference, whether it's less or whatever. That normally is done through public comment at public meeting. So we haven't had that, so none of us know exactly where that falls. Obviously, assuming Carol's been in business doing this forever, I'm sure she's got all her bonds and licensing and everything is good to go. So,
But you can fill them in if you feel, if you want to, if not.
Sure, I incorporated in the month of December so that I could serve the township. I'll be serving this township and another municipal account starting going forward from tonight.